Thank you very much, everybody, for joining. It's today we're having a pre-AGM webinar just to talk about the topics of gender equity, coach development, and finances. Rob will join us later on. And my name is Torsten Goh. I'm one of the board of directors. And in the spirit of reconciliation, I acknowledge that I live, work, and play within many traditional territories. I'm right now located here in the beautiful and sacred lands of the Gautier, the home of the river people in Treaty 11. And my gender pronouns are he and him. And today we also have Marlis Martins here with me, who is the technical director for Table Tennis Canada and also part of the coach development. We have Karine Dumontier, who is the manager for the Gender Equity Committee. And later on, Rob will also join us from Finances, who is also a board of director for Table Tennis Canada. I'm going to quickly talk, and hi everybody there, hi members. I'm going to quickly talk about coach development. So we allocated about 10-15 minutes for everybody. It's just so that we have enough time later on for questions and answers. And that's the main focus of it all, is to have those questions that might be coming up pre-AGM that is we hosted next week on June 23rd. So this year we had awards, Canadian for us, ourselves. We gave away coaching awards, and that was Maxime Surpreneur, who was the 2021 Coach of the Year with Table Tennis Canada. And we also had a regional award, who was the VIA Sport Community Coach of the Year award, Lubaslavsky in British Columbia. And I was lucky enough myself to receive the Coaching Association of Canada's Impact Award. One of the things that we started this year is we started in January to create a newsletter that we're going to send out to coaches. And we have access to the coach database, what was over 700 coaches. And we were able to send newsletters, just information on the things that I'm going to talk about it later on here too. And just to have a connection with everybody that is interested in coaching and table tennis. So it was very nice to see that even out of the 700, we still have over 680 that are signed up for the newsletter, and over 50% actually look at the newsletter. So definitely a good change for us and to get some information out there. We also included gender equity in the newsletter. So there's always 1, 2, 3, or 4 posts on gender equity, and then general posts that are really important over the last months or two. And I'm not sure if I mentioned that already, but it is a bi-monthly newsletter that we send out. And then afterwards we post it on the website as well and through social media. Marlis and I we had a lot of meeting over the last 2 years with the coach developers and also with the coach development committee on how to move forward. So finally this year we announced the coach development plan. And the idea behind the coach development plan was to simplify the coaching stream. Right now, most of our coaches don't quite understand the difference between, let's say, for example, the introduction to competition and competition development. Before it was called different levels, level 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. And so we made it easier to understand, because even within a stream, let's say the former level 2, what now is introduction to competition, was then an advanced part and a base part. And so we changed that up a little bit and just made that a little bit easier. And we also simplified the coaching courses. For example, we have the community coaching course, what was 8 hours, we cut it down now to 3 hours. And the reason for that is to make it as easy as possible for people to get certified. And part of our plan is to say that we want to have over 1,000 trained community coaches by the end of the 2027, what is the next Canada Games after 2023. We also want to make it easier for coaches to get certified. So we tell our coach developers that when they do a facilitation, that we really want to focus, and then I take the community stream again, a 1-hour session on how to hold a paddle, play till 11 points, switch serves every 2 serves, and that's it. That's the rules that you know about table tennis. And then play games. So do fun activities, do balloon games or balloon control, racket skills, as easy as possible. And so for our coach developer as well, like if they go into a school, we said that take one of the teachers that you work with within the week, teach them that 1 hour on the basic skills, and then give them responsibility during the week to do some of the sessions as well. And then at the end, you can say that I trained coaches. Again, to make it as easy as possible. And we offer a lot of courses. And I think I have another slide for that, to get certified. Again, we tell you to be certified. And now we're also offering the courses to back ourselves up and give you as many opportunities and possibilities to get certified. We reached out to all the members and said that the Canada Games are coming up in 2023. So that's fairly quickly. You need to be coach development certified to be participating as a coach. So now this year we offer a course in Mala, sorry, correct me, but I think it's July, August, and then it's November, December. So we're offering 2 courses, and they will all be blended, and Marlis is giving me a thumbs up, so thank you for that. And so we have the opportunity to get as many coaches certified that still need the certification process. And right now we have 1 or 2 coaches that are actually in the process. So it's again, being proactive instead of reactive, and being a year ahead of time. So that's good. We also try and create a community. So I will talk about professional development and courses. And also we start in August with a coaches corner. So we just ask people to join in, and let's talk about a topic, and then just do a roundtable and see where you're at and wherever you are in what province or territory. The challenging process, we started a challenging process, what wasn't in place before, where a coach that already comes from a different country or a national team athlete that says, I have the training, I understand the Canadian sports system, I understand table tennis, can I please do a challenging process? What is still a lot of work, but it takes away the trained component to it, the sport-specific trained component. And so it is a little bit easier. It's still a lot of work, but it's definitely easier. And then Safe Sport. There's a nice article if you have time to read it. And what it is that the Canadian landscape for sport is changing, and Safe Sport will be mandatory at some point in the near future, where you need to be educated, where you need to do police record checks, we need to have the understanding behind Safe Sport. So we have done, and I think, once again, correct me, but I think the entire board is Safe Sport trained, all the national team coaches that are involved in any of the major events, and then some of the committee members, and we are starting to even try and get provincial and territorial coaches and everybody else trained in Safe Sport. Yeah. That's it for the coach development plan. Just because I'm running through it fairly quickly. Any questions so far? No questions so far. Oh, Marlis, please go ahead.
I'm just wondering if you're going to talk a little bit more about the professional development series, or?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, then I'm not saying anything.
Okay, good. Thanks, Marlis. Yeah, Karen.
Will you provide the slides after? It will be available for people to have the slides, and if yes, just saying that they will be in French and English.
Yes, they will be. Thank you for that. So we'll provide all the information that we have afterwards. The same with the video, and then the slides. And I forgot to apologize in the beginning because I threw them back together at the last minute, and so they will be translated in French as well. Yes, thanks, Green, for that. Coaching courses, and I said a little bit about it already. We asked that coaches for this Canadian Championships will be at least community coaches. And so that's where we said we're going to offer as many community coaching courses prior to the Canadian Championships. And I think we had over 15 to 20 people. No, we had more people. We had 30 to 40 people signed up, and 15 to 20 people actually showed up for the courses. It was great because we didn't have them before. And you as members, I think you know that, but the membership, for whoever is watching it afterwards, the membership is responsible for community coaching and introduction to competition, while the national organization is there to facilitate competition development. What is the next level up? We took this initiative just for those provinces and territories that don't have learning facilitators or no capacity at this point in time to do the courses. we just wanted to say we can offer it. We have an amazing staff person that can do the courses, so there's no cost involved, and we were able to provide all these courses for free too. We offered so far an introduction to competition course, and that was great to see too, because Miles, do we have almost 15 people there? I think that was pretty cool.
We have 10 coach
10?
certified that finished the process.
Yeah.
With
So
the introduction to competition. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I think that's a huge success because it's 10 people that we didn't have before. And I think there was a few included from New Brunswick who, for example, don't have a learning facilitator. We did it all virtually and it worked. I don't think there was any issues with it. Would it be much better in person? Yes, 100%. But I think for what we tried during COVID, it worked very well. And then, so as you can see in the list, we offer a few more courses this year. Next to that, we started using professional development courses. And for those that don't know, when you're certified as a coach, within 5 years' time, you need to do X amount of professional development. And so there's a point system for that. For introduction to competition, it's, for example, 20, and I believe for coach development, it's 30 points per 5 years. And if you do a course, then you get X amount of points depending on what course it is. So a multi-sport course with the Coaching Association of Canada, you get X amount of points. So this year we said we're going to offer some courses too, and all the courses, one per month, you get 2 points. So if you would finish all the courses for the year, you would already done for looking at professional development in the future. And we had a lot of people signed up. Maybe you can talk a little bit more about that, Marlis.
So for the PD points, like we know that it's very important for the coaches to be considered active in the CAC, the Coaching Association of Canada. So we offer those professional development sessions so they can make those points that, as Thor mentioned, for introduction to competition stream, like the former level 2, you need to have 20 points of activity in 5 years period. And for introduction, for competition development, that's 30. So we're offering these courses, and so far we have over 70 coaches that use the system. Amazing. In different workshops that we did, in different professional development sessions that we did. So far, we had 5 professional development sessions, 1 per month. And we had a participation, a very, very good participation with these coaches, and they're getting the benefits from it. So why is important? Especially for the competition development coaches, if they're not active, they cannot participate in the Canada Winter Games. So that's one of the things that we did right away. So if you get your points, you are active, you can participate. So we're offering this to make sure that everybody's going to be able to keep the status level as active and participate. So we have a plan for this year between 11 to 12 sessions. And that guarantees you, like, if the coach is participating in all of these sessions, they're going to get in between 22 to 24 points. It means if your introduction to competition, you already have in 1 year all the points that you need to do to keep active in 5. And for competition development, maybe another few sessions you are guaranteed. So that's what we're trying to do, to make sure that makes it easier for the coaches and not harder.
And because we have seen there's so much interest in it too, now we're all starting in August Coach's Corner, because there's a lot of questions, because people like to share things. And we have seen that too with the coach developers who are coach facilitators, evaluators, or developers. And they, again, love sharing about their stories and what's going on. So we want to engage in that a bit further and create that community piece that we all come together and share. And if there's any questions about professional development or about courses or anything else, then we're ready to answer those questions. Any questions from anyone?
Torsten?
Amelia.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm good. Ni hao.
Good. I have one question. You have the one section coming out on the July 6th, which is national championships. So coaches are busy.
Yeah, Manas?
So we already sent an email like to all the provinces telling them that we're going to start the course. Actually, we start with 3 sessions of theory first. That's going to be held in Wednesdays. So next week we should start the first one. No, not next week. So it's going to be on
No, it's on the
June 29.
29, which is okay. But
Yeah,
July,
then
July,
the one.
July 6th, it's a national champs.
Yes, so if you check your emails, Emilia, we send information about it and we transfer that session for July 27.
Oh, July 27. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Move to July 27. Okay.
Amelia, do you have anyone? Because I sent out an email prior saying that it's coming up and nobody asked to be participating in it. So that's why the ones that signed up for it, Marlis reached out to, and that's why we didn't tell it to anyone else. We only reached out to those that signed up for it. Do you have anyone that is interested in BC?
Yeah, I have to get them to take the course, but 29, okay. July 6th, and also 13, July 13 should be okay. 16, 17 should be okay. And then one will be 27, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
then send an email as soon as you can to Marlis, please, so you can put that out there for those people as well. Because I don't know, like if we don't have enough people, I'm not sure what we're gonna do. And if, yeah, I mean, yeah, send an email to Marlis and we follow up afterwards.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you, Sheshe.
Okay. Thank you.
And hi, Rob. Oh, that's it. Wow, look at that. Sorry, do you have a question? Yeah, Gregory, go ahead.
Yes, for the last slide about the certification of the at the national, may I suggest I involve other sports too in badminton. At the national, it's very hard to say, go to table court, say, can I see your credential, whatever. So what we did in badminton is we have different color badges for different level coaches to wear. So the one right away from the referee point of standard, anybody, you say, okay, that person have no color at all and walk, and right away we politely ask him or her to leave. But it's because green equal to whatever level, okay, is okay.
Yeah.
Of course, this way if we simplify everything instead of policing everybody and conflict or whatever, this way show that okay, I'm white badge and blue badge, whatever, then whatever the table tennis we create, and this way you make the transaction very, very smoothly. That's all. Yeah.
That's a great comment, yeah. So for this year, Gregory, what we're going to do is we're not going to police it. We just put it out there into the world and said that we want to follow it because then there's meaning towards certification. So right now everybody can go, any athlete can go, any parent can go. And so that is a little bit of a problem. And then when we go to my table tennis club, there might be a little bit of a space issue too. So we're trying to just be mindful about it. And then this year is an education year. And then next year, we're going to push it a little bit more. But the idea really is just to get the message out there saying, please do this. We have all these available courses available for you now. And so, yeah, there should not be any reason for you to not be trained or certified in the future. Yeah, just a starting point. But yeah, thank you. I like that. I like that idea. Any other questions? Because otherwise, thank you very much and merci beaucoup. Well, Marlis, do you have anything else that I forgot maybe? No, we're good.
Oh.
Okay, then we're going to go to the next one. Karine Dumondier, the floor is yours.
Merci beaucoup. So tonight I'm here to talk about Gender Equity Committee. Can you hear me well?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So just to make a short summary of what we did, because we are a new committee. It's 1 year only that there is a Gender Equity Committee at TTCAN. So I will present what we did this year. And thank you, Emilia, you're on the committee, and thank you to be there, and thank you to be involved in that committee. So can you, oh, it's a PDF? just to begin, some numbers. Table tennis in Canada, about players. This is the numbers that we have. So I think just this next slide, you will see that it's very clear that we are behind for female in table tennis Canada. So for players, we have only 21% of female players. And then coaches, about the same. And then board of directors, we have Houston, we have a problem here. And because of that, the president of Table Tennis Canada, Adam, accepted to have one of the representative of the committee to assist at the board of directors, not as with a vote, but can assist to the meeting of the board. So that's I think it's a good it's a first step, a first good step. And then we have committee members, a little bit more, about 20% of female. And because of all these numbers, and because Sport Canada gave some funding to improve the gender equity, Table Tennis Canada made a committee especially to work on that. So you can see all the members of the committee. And we worked hard this year to start that program. So we first, can you go on the other slide, please? The first thing that we did is to work on the policy for Table Tennis Canada, and it has been approved by the board. And with the policy, it's good, but we need a plan. So we worked on a plan. The next slide. And it was a 3 years plan to try to improve all the aspects of the gender equity for table tennis. And we had 5 main goals that you can see on the other slide. So the 5 main goals was to improve women in leadership, to retain girls and women that we have in table tennis, to recruit new girls, to have more coaches, female coaches, and to take care of our elite players, female elite players. So this was a big, this was very large, a lot of work to do, and we started with our first activity was to, okay, we can see on the other slide, we started with distributing some funding across Canada. Everybody could apply for funding last year, and we made a Zoom session with Julia, the chair of the committee, to explain why we were doing that, how to apply, and what they could do. So we had a good response, and we've made some funding for 10 projects across Canada, and they are listed in the other slide. So Nova Scotia had a project, Northwest Territories, Quebec had 2 projects, Saskatchewan, New Brunswick, and Ontario had 2 projects as well. So all these projects submitted some activities that could increase the numbers of players or coaches, and we wanted to have these projects fit, that these projects was fitting with the goals that we made. So all the project was then in the same way to increase players or coaches or officials. And we had some very nice projects submitted and very nice outcomes. And on the other slide, you will see that we tried to, oh yeah, you can go. I forgot to say that on the committee we have an international expert and Lila is our expert, and we can ask her some questions if we need, and she's very good to share some new what is new in gender equity. So she's an expert. She knows very well table tennis because she was working at ITTF, and she is very good with us. And we made a Zoom session with her in the fall. So I was saying that we tried to share the information on the website. We have a special place for gender equity, and on social media, we made a social media calendar, and we tried to post everything we are doing, so everybody that's interested to know what's going on can see what's going on with Gender Equity Committee. So every Tuesday, we try to make some posts special for gender equity. And at the same time, I said we had 10 projects, and we tried to publish pictures, summary, and outcomes that they made on our social media and website. Next slide. Yeah, of course, we applied to have more money. Canadian Women in Sport is one of the organizations that worked to increase gender equity in Canada. And so we applied for funding, did not have, but maybe next year. We assisted to a few webinars because we wanted to have more information to be updated about this subject. So we did that. And of course, Canadian Championship was a great event. Everybody was happy to see each other. So we had the opportunity to make some great interviews to highlight some female coaches, some female leaders as Marianne. And then the other one was, if you can go on the other slide, Torsten. We had some players. Here is Crystal Yu, Jessie Xu, Ivy. We tried to have some players from different provinces and different ages. And then we did the same at the Canadian Para Championship in Ontario. So we had some interview with coaches, Luba, and then we had another coach on the other slide. It's John, I think, yeah. And if you missed it, you can see it on the Table Tennis Canada YouTube channel. You can see all the videos, all the webinars, all the interviews that you missed. It's all there with umpires as well. And then we launched a logo contest. We wanted to have a logo for our program. And we had some very interesting submission. And the winners was this lady. She submitted a very nice project, and we kind of just add some text to her draw. So this is our logo. And then we worked on the Canadian Women in Sport campaign. Don't know if you saw it, but they made a lot of, this campaign was about different sport. And we finally succeed to have a table tennis player on the campaign. So that was a great success and a great opportunity to have more coverage. And then we prepare a special girls training camp in Montreal, but COVID just decided that it would be in Ottawa in July. So we postponed all the activities for next July in Ottawa. So we are working hard on that. And the latest activities was letters to the award committee. I don't know if you saw it, but this year the committee decided to give a female athlete and a male athlete award. And we were very happy about that. And we asked them to do it every year. We also worked very hard with Athlete Commission on a promotional campaign that would highlight girls and women in table tennis. Coaches, players, leaders, umpires, we want to highlight them and be more present on in the news. And we also organized some gender equity webinars once a month, every Wednesday. And unfortunately, the last one with the coach committee was postponed because it was postponed, but stay tuned, it will be very interesting. We will have Marianne de Moncos and players that will talk about training, table tennis training. What's the title? Women in table tennis, I guess. I think that's. And so for a committee that has only 1 year, we worked hard. We did a lot of little things that could have changed a little bit the perception of the people about table tennis for girls. And we will continue to work hard to have more girls, more players, because we cannot go that way because it's just decreasing and it's not good. So I don't know if you have questions for me.
Yeah, please. If you have any questions, unmute or just let us know. Thanks, Green.
I did not summarize in French, but it was all written in French and we don't have any Francophone right now, but.
Go ahead, Gregory.
Is this program only for high performance or national team, or is also for beginners? Because in Manitoba, there's some girls are just start to learn, and some are 15, some are 12, some are. Is this program for them too?
Are you talking about the training camp or the program?
The program.
The program is not only for elite, because if you remember well, right. We had 5 goals, and one of the goals is for elite players. Yeah. But we want more girls in table tennis, and of course, when they are beginning, they are just beginners, and the program is not for high performance only. But we want to take care of our elite players, but we want to have more girls in table tennis, and we want to retain the girls that are already played but are not elite as well.
Okay, understand. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great question. Thanks, Greg. Okay, thank you, Corinne. Let's move on and hand over to Rob. What would you like me to show first, Rob?
Sorry about that. Thanks for, hello everyone. Where should we begin? Well, we'll begin with what's on the screen first. We have to say Adam has done a tremendous job since he started. He basically started with a deficit of 416,000, and then you can see the top line of where it started, and then or the top line was the result of the year. So if you look at 266,000 that we had at March 31st, 218, you subtract 416,000 because we lost that much that year. So end of March 31st, we're at negative 149,000. So that was a struggling year, and that's basically when Adam started. So the following year, we had a surplus 116, which brought the deficit to in March 31st, 2020 to 32,000. And then we had budgeted at 50,000, but like I said, we made 116,900 that year. And then the following 2020 and 2021, budget another 15, but the actual came in at 73,000. And so it brought us back to above the negative point to 40. And this year, we ended up with surplus to 32,000, and so we got a reserve now of 72,424. And I really have to say give a lot of credit to Adam, because he's acting as a president and a CEO. So if you add a salary of the CEO, anywhere to $70,000 to $90,000, you can see how that would affect us for 3 years. And it's a concern also for the future. I've talked to Adam about that, and that's why next year's budget, there's great initiatives for coaching and gender equity, and right now, that category is all under the development, and that category has been reduced from the previous year. Well, part of the previous years, we did get some extra income from COVID. I guess we got some funding from the government there, and we also had reduced spending, so that also helped us. But I would say the main part was Adam's professional staff salary. So you can change through the budget if you want, Thorsten. Yeah, you can see there, we're still waiting for some funding to be confirmed by Sports Canada, and Adam alluded before, we are really dependent on Sports Canada funding, and we have to kind of get other sources of funding, and these are kind of limited, membership and participation at 100,000. That's really what we get from all the other provinces for all the tournaments you enter and everything. But I think Adam's also working on a lot of the marketing area to help bring in more sponsorships, and so hopefully that will come in more in the future. But as you can see right now, we're still really dependent on Sports Canada, and that's why, unfortunately, we've got a huge country, big geographic area, and our transportation cost is high, and so limited resources and limited funds. So it's a challenge, and there's a lot of people are working hard on the in a lot of volunteer portfolios, and like I said, last year it was great seeing that gender equity take off as good as it did, and development did, and Thorsten basically doing a lot in coaching development, mainly the volunteer. So that is the budget, and there's things. Hopefully, we're waiting for things to come in yet, and so anybody have any questions there on the budget and the kind of how we got out of the deficit? Then I'll just leave it at that for now. I'm trying to be as realistic as I can with everything.
No questions so far.
Okay. Did I have any other? Yeah, that third page. Yeah, here's kind of a comparison of what was budgeted and what the actual income expenses for the year. And we still have you can see we had budget 310,000 for professional staff, so we are under budget there, but that's mainly because of not having to pay a CEO. So a lot of the funds was used in other areas. So, I'm just trying to think any key. Yeah, and then the national team program, almost 25% of it is to support our national team, and it's really Dejan and his committee looks after that. But I've met with Dejan before on that, and he's asking for more funds to help support the national team. But if you look at it, it's very restricted. What we take and give to him, we have to cut other areas. So it's a real balancing act to try and support all the various areas as good as we can. Any other screens I had? Yeah, and this balance sheet will just show
I have a question.
What was
I have a
that?
question for you, Rob.
Yeah.
Is it possible to ask now, or do you want me to?
Yeah, you can ask now.
Okay. I was just wondering, Sport Canada funding, is it an amount that like for the next 3 years, or it's only for 1 year and you don't know what will be given the next year, or you can a little bit plan ahead?
Yeah, well, we are typically, like when I look back the last 4 or 5 years, when you add a lot of the sport funding, we've always get about 500, average about $550,000, I would say. That and we've had a little more the last couple of years because of COVID. They've given a little more time, but basically, that is what we're counting on for the future. Hopefully, they're not going to cut our funds, and what will help increase the funds is that if we get good performance at the higher level, at the international level, and so so to get higher performance, then you have to invest more in the national team and the higher level. That also takes away from the lower. So unless we get a breakthrough somehow, and but I would say we won't be reduced in funding for the next 3 years. They've Sports Canada has been fairly good with that. We haven't cut our funding, so we.
Is it going with the Olympic?
We would get some extra. Yeah, we would get
okay.
extra funding those years to help out with different for there and Commonwealth. We get some more funding for those particular years. But basically all that funding, it really just goes. Most of it would go to the national team.
And Rob, maybe you can talk about as well, like what funding is already set and what we can change or what we cannot change.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. A lot of the like there's certain areas in para. There's a certain funding is set.
Yeah, Rob, I believe it's the para budget is fully given directly to the para committee. And then I think we need to
official languages, that's set. And there may be some subcategories within that level from C, but those are the two main ones that I know that is set, the official and para. And I can't, and I hope eventually this gender equity, it would be great if we could get some set funding in that area. you know, and I know Adam is working, and not only just our sports. Hopefully, all sports can get some set funding for gender equity and like they've done for para. So.
Thank you, Rob. Any more questions? I don't hear anything. Good.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, so then I think I'll just open it up as well. Like if there's any other questions that we didn't talk about, like let us know and we can try and answer them as good as possible. I mean, we have 2 board members here. We have member council chairs and staff. So if you have any other questions. Go ahead, Rick.
About the coaches program, for example, in that point that I don't quite understand. Canada Winter Game only allowed 2 coaches go to the events, 1 male, 1 female. So now, for example, especially the big 4 province, for example, we train 20 coaches, male or female. They are qualified to go to the Canada Winter Game, but in the meantime, they were very disappointed. Oh, only 1 hour 20 in our province can 2 each one for each gender can go. So would it be a discourage for that 18 whatever members that took all the call, take all the initiative and say, well, I'm not going anywhere. So that's a thing that we have to think about. It's different than smaller province, right? Small province, oh yeah, the chance we have is only like 1 out of 5, but especially the bigger province, you have more people interested. Now that's the negative part of the program is now the comparative of only 2 coaches go to Canada Winter Game, unless we ease up the number of coaches going to Canada Winter Game. That's one of my concerns.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see it as much as a concern as you, because I think you need to work towards becoming the Canada Games coach. And for me, it's a competition too. It's like for you, for example, for Manitoba, it would be the head coach for the province. And for Ontario and Quebec, it might be different. It might be a selection process that is in place, and then whoever is selecting the coach later on. And when you look at the Canadian national level, we have that too, because you, and Marlis, please say if I'm wrong, but it's event-based, and whoever is the first selected to go or win the qualifier as an athlete, their coach will be part of the team automatically. And then there's a selection process in place for all the other coaches, where they need to have different standards in place. They need to be high performance, not high performance, competition development coaches certified. And they also need to do, yeah, Miles, maybe you can speak more about that. Sorry. I think they need to be professional, signed up through the coaching association and so on, yeah.
Well, they need to be like considered as a registered coach. And then it means that they can have like, they're going to be recognized as a registered professional coach or a CHPC, that's a chartered professional coach. So those are what is required from OTP, that's on the podium with Sport Canada, for our high performance coaches to go to international events. But talking about Canada Winter Games, we cannot change inside Table Tennis Canada their requirements. For Canada Winter Games, they want competition development coaches. And that's going to be, like I said, 1 boy, 1 girl. So we cannot change that rule. So that's why we try to help as much as we can now, the provinces, by making available the courses that we can, so then everybody can have a clear pathway to get certified, and then they can represent their province or territory in the Canada Winter Games.
And adding to that too, Gregory, for example, the Canada Winter Games is a next generations team. It's not the national high performance. So that's why it's not that you need to be a high performance coach, but coach development, because that's a stepping stone towards high performance. And then the province and territory set their own standards, how they elect the coaches. That's not done by the national organization or by the Canada Winter Games, for example. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I agree there. We hope that with the mandates that we're setting, I think it's hopefully showcasing that there is a good reason for being certified or trained and then certified after. So hopefully we can change that in the future and make it more appealing for everybody to be certified. Okay, last question around. Anyone? Okay, then I'll stop the recording, and I thank you everybody for joining us today. And feel free, if you have any questions, I think you know everybody here. Send an email to Corinne for gender equity, or for finances to Rob, or for coach development, you can send to Mala. So thank you very much, everybody.